if you ended up on this video, I want you to know that I've been in the same position as you. I've been fat, I've been skinny fat, I've been skinny, all of the above. And I've been able to get out of it and become jacked, ripped, whatever you want to call it. And I'm going to teach you how to do that in this video. But more importantly, how did you get here in the first place? That's what we're going to go over. And if you stick to the end, I actually have a free gift for you on an exact framework as a tall guy, how you can avoid being skinny fat, fat, and skinny. If you watch to the end of this video, I'll give you that free resource. So how did you get here in the first place? If you're watching this video, you may be either one of these body types: skinny, skinny fat, or just fat. And as a tall lifter, it's very easy to get into any one of these body types, except for maybe fat, because us taller lifters, we may have a harder time gaining weight. But some people are endomorphs. Some people gain weight very easily, so they may be in the fat category. So let's look at how you got to any of these body types. So skinny is just mostly caused by lack of muscle mass and lack of fat stores energy on your body. Fat is just stored energy on your body. If you're skinny, there's one reason why you're skinny. You haven't ate enough food to gain any type of muscle mass or stored energy / fat on your body. The reason you're here, food is an energy source. You have not ate enough food to become either one of these body types, so you fall into this category. And if you're skinny, you probably don't lift. You're probably a DYEL. So if you're in this category, eating more will get you out of the category, but that's not just eating more is not the solution. So, and then if we look at skinny fat, how did you get here? When you're skinny fat, what happens is your body doesn't have enough muscle mass to show any definition in your body. But at the same time, you probably eat enough to gain fat stores on your body, which is that preserved energy that we talked about. But you don't burn any of that energy off. You don't lift. You don't put that energy to use. This leads to you being skinny fat. At the same time, you don't have the muscle mass under that fat to look muscular. So what happens when you're skinny fat, your FFMI, meaning your fat-free index, is lower, probably average or below average. And then the energy that you store from overeating, that'll sit on your body like white on rice. And now if you're fat as hell, you go over to this category, most likely the cause is, for one, you probably know this, you eat like a pig. So overeating, extra fat stores. So if you're fat, it's simply because you ate so much to the point where you have excess stored energy, and some of that eating and energy may have contributed to muscle mass, making you look big as hell, but you're fat, so nobody sees it. And so this is what leads to this category: excess fat stores, stored energy on your body. And you may even have muscle mass under that fat, but you have so much energy stored that you wouldn't know how much lean mass is on your frame. So what is the solution to all of these body types as a taller guy? Because lots of these fitness influencers aren't as tall as you. They don't have the solution to effectively solve your problem. So I'm glad you're watching this video. If you're watching this video, you're on the right track, because you understand the different recovery needs and nutritional needs for tall lifters. So to get out of the skinny category, first off, you need to go to the gym. You need to lift weights. You also need to have the right nutritional needs for your taller frame. If you're skinny, the first thing they'll tell you, eat 1 gram per pound of body weight. And while this may work, you have a taller frame, you have longer muscle bellies, right? So it would be better if you eat 1.2 grams per pound of body weight. This is the higher end of the recommendation. You need to fill out your frame effectively. So anytime you go to the gym, you break down that muscle tissue. You have longer muscle bellies, you have more tissue to break down. And you're going to start training. This doesn't mean go balls to the wall. This doesn't mean train 6 days per week, especially as a taller guy. You would train 3 times per week. Proper resistance training without injuring yourself, especially if you've never been in the gym. You are more prone to injury. There's certain biomechanics, certain lifts that will make you more prone to injury. And here's a myth that shorter influencers will tell you, is to just do bench, deadlift, and squat. This is how taller guys get injured first time in the gym. You will not do these lifts that they tell you. You will take on a plan that has exercises that work with your leverages. So on top of this, you will eat in a slight surplus of calories. Another myth: if you're a skinny guy, you have to eat everything you get your hands on. Wrong. You eat everything you get your hands on, you will end up skinny fat, because you do not give your body enough time to recover that muscle while in a surplus. And so you're gonna gain all this excess fat with not enough muscle in your frame, and then you'll end up skinny fat. The solution for being skinny fat: you will cut to your ideal body fat percentage. Once you cut to your ideal body fat percentage, you will end up probably in the skinny territory. You're gonna lift during this time, and you're gonna do the right exercises, right sets and reps, respect your recovery. You also train 3 times per week if you're a beginner. If you're skinny fat, I'm assuming you're a beginner. If you're intermediate, you can go 4 times per week if you're intermediate. And then once you get to that ideal body fat percentage, you're basically repeating what the skinny guy would do. You will eat in a surplus of 250 calories. You will also get 1.2 grams of protein. And if you're fat, guess what? You're gonna do the same thing the skinny fat guy does, but you're gonna be in this phase for longer. Depending on your experience level, you will go 3 to 4 times. Now you're going to be in this phase for longer because you're fat. So once you get that stored energy off your body and you get to your ideal body fat percentage, where do you ideally want to be body fat wise? Once you get there, you will eat in a surplus of 250 calories as well, which is a lean conservative bulk. You will eat, because you have a taller frame, you eat 1.2 grams of protein. Another myth: when you're going on a cut, they will tell you need to cut quickly. You need to cut as much weight as possible. You need to be in a deficit of 1,000 calories. Wrong. If you're a taller lifter, you need to be smarter about your cuts. That means more protein, less of a deficit. You should be at a deficit of 500 calories max. Once you figure out your TDEE, your total daily energy expenditure, you figure that out, which I will go over in a future video of this course, how to do that. You will figure that out, and then you will go 500 calories below your TDEE. That is the max you should be going to get rid of those fat stores. Because when you're a total lifter, you naturally have more muscle mass on your body, so you have more risk of losing muscle than a shorter guy. The higher your deficit, the more risk that your body will go into a catabolic state. Catabolic mode is due to you not getting enough energy to sustain that muscle mass. When you're not getting enough energy to sustain that muscle mass, your body will start to eat it for more energy. So you want to avoid this by staying in this 500 calorie deficit. Don't go above it. Now, how do you know if you're losing muscle mass? If you're losing great amounts of strength, that means you're losing muscle mass. Reason being is because strength, the reason muscle mass even builds on our body is our body's adaptation to more resistance. Your muscles get bigger because your body needs to adapt to the weight that you put on it, allowing that muscle to get stronger, push that weight next time. That's all it is. Muscle is a consequence. Muscle is simply your body's adaptation to resistance, right? So if you're losing great amounts of strength in the gym, that tells you you're losing that muscle mass, which means that you're in too much of a deficit. So imagine your body is a house and the foundation is the muscle mass. You have one house that has a weak foundation and no muscle mass, and then you have another house that has a strong foundation. If there is a tornado or strong winds, which house will be more likely to stand up? It's going to be the house with the strong foundation. When you go on a cut, the cut is like the wind blowing at your foundation. Training is like the foundation. If you have a weak training plan, a weak foundation, the cut will blow over all of those strength gains being the foundation. When you go on a cut, that wind will blow off all those strength gains if you don't have the right plan. When you lose strength gains, you will lose muscle. That's why it is important to have the right plan in place and then to cut with a proper deficit. The more the deficit is, the stronger the wind, the more likely to blow over that foundation, leading to you losing muscle. So you need to control your environment as much as possible. For example, take celebrities. They control their environment as much as possible. When they have parties, any pictures or footage of what they're doing at these parties, right? This is how they control their environment so that no bullshit happens. When they control their environment, people can't take pictures, people can't do this, can't do that. They protect themselves from the bullshit. How this relates to your nutrition, let's control your environment. What's your environment? What you put into your body, your macros. You must get the right amount of protein, the right amount of carbs, the right amount of fats to keep your hormones in place. Watching this video, you may be like, oh, but bro, that's too much work. Why do I gotta do all this? Well, then you're just soft. You're not willing to put in the hard work to get the great results. That's why most people don't achieve their goals, right? You must control what's going into your body to influence the way that it looks. It's controlling your environment. If you're a taller guy, you need the ideal macro split to fill your frame and maintain muscle. I will be going over that in the future videos in this course. Exactly how you do that along with finding your TDEE. So like I said, I do have a free resource for you, a free gift on a full guide on how to build the tall guy aesthetics. I put a link in the description of this video. Check that out and go over it. See you in the next video.